Hello and welcome back to Warrior Priest, and when we left off, I finally purchased a cannon and a mortar, and hopefully we're going to be able to use those in this episode. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be that effective in this siege, but, well, I felt, hey, you know what, this one is all the way in some random place, and it was kind of necessary for us to capture it before we could move on to other places. Now, obviously, do bear in mind that we are currently surrounded by a lot of enemy vassals right now, so obviously they're probably going to try and attack us. Maybe if they have, well, if they have a suitable amount of backup, let's just say that, because at the moment I do have an army with Balthazar in it, and Balthazar, as we all know, is pretty significant in terms of his power, so we shouldn't be having too many difficulties at least. So yes, there's the mortar, as you can see right there. There's the mortar and there's the cannon, so I can place those down as it's just exactly as you said, actually. So thank you once again for that. That's really, really helpful. And I'm just going to get out my gun and shoot a bunch of people. And there you go. That's actually so incredibly enjoyable. It really is to have a gun that actually fires that quickly in comparison to having to reload after every single shot. That is really, really nice. And I mean, that's the thing. I've had mods in the past in Warband do firearms, and they did it pretty well, I've got to say. They did it pretty well. But every single time there would be a weapon that would be fast firing, it would be very difficult to use in comparison to this one, for example. This one has a lot of usability to it. It feels really nice and easy and intuitive to use, and it's not inaccurate either. It feels effective, which is quite surprising in itself. Anyway, oh, that guy survived! How dare you? How dare you survive that shot? Thank you very much. Oh well, whatever the case, let me bring out my sword here, see if I can maybe cut down a couple of enemies as they run away. Yes, yes. I mean, we do have a couple of focus points in two-handed, so I might as well level it up a little bit. And you can see here just how easy it is to level up two-handed, especially considering I can basically cut down any of these guys and they die in 1 or 2 hits. And that's obviously going to get us additional experience in itself, because obviously killing blows does have a pretty significant difference in the amount of experience you gain. Anyway, there we are. Wonderful victory for us. And now we are just looking for that elusive, what is it now? Field battle. Yes, that's it. Those are the words I'm looking for. Anyway, yes, that is exactly what we want. We want some kind of field battle so that we can actually test out our mortar and our cannon. I'm actually wondering, no, my engineers are absolutely fine. Okay, I was a bit worried that they might die, and that's actually one of the things that I think I'm the most worried about at the moment, me going into these sieges and everything, and maybe even going into some auto-resolve battles, because if they get themselves killed, that's obviously not going to be very good for our ability to use the cannons, because we need those units in the first place to be able to do that. So anyway, let's just wait here for some time, and then I'm going to be taking a look at the world map, and we're going to see exactly where we need to go next. Maybe we're going to be able to encounter one of the enemy armies. We're only at war against one faction at the moment, as the other one was forced into a peace agreement due to war exhaustion. And oh, that was the only fief they had. Yeah, that was the only fief they had. I had no idea that that was actually the case. I thought to myself, oh, we're just going to take this castle and then we're going to move on to the next one. But no, okay, that is apparently the only thing that they had. Okay, well, okay, right. I guess that means that I'm going to be going to the diplomacy screen and taking a look and seeing, okay, yeah, these guys do not want to declare war. Alright, I guess I'm going to be waiting for some time then. I will be dismantling my army for the moment in the meantime, and I will just be waiting here for a little bit. I am very worried, actually, about my money situation as well. That is going to be a bit of a problem, so I might have to go over to the Chaos Portal and fight a bunch of enemy units in the meantime, because otherwise I'm probably going to be facing some issues. Alright, so you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to show you the mortar and the cannon because I'm actually kind of excited about it myself, and I would like to actually see them in action straight away. So what we're going to do is we're just going to place them out there, and then hopefully my engineer... I don't have any engineers, do I? I don't... They're not in the battle. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on there? Oh, we got a bunch of spells just going off. All right, okay. Yeah, so that's obviously a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yes. So I can't use these, can I? No, I cannot use them. All right. I guess that puts paid to that. Well, at least I tested it out, and so we know now that what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put our engineers at the very top of our party list so that they can appear in the battle much earlier. Will my quest for redemption ever end? Yes, indeed. Alright, so we're here in another tournament, and I've actually been just fighting Chaos Raiders this entire time. I have no idea how long it's been. Time seems to relatively stand still when you're attempting to wait for something to happen in Bannerlord. And I've had to do this numerous times in other series as well, but, you know, generally I don't speak about it that often. But yes, whatever the case, we're going to be doing this. And yeah, hopefully I'm actually going to be doing a relatively decent job here. Now, bear in mind that there are 2 nobles in the actual fight. So this might be a bit problematic, but as you can... Oh, okay. I got shot for 379 damage. I now have the engineers in a place where they can hopefully help us out. So let's actually see whether that is indeed the case this time. All right, here we go. Gonna put the cannon round about here. Mortar, I don't really care. I mean, the mortar is pretty easy to work with. Okay, phew, I thought there was a crash there for a second. Alright, so yeah, anyway, where are the engineers? Can I... Just gonna put them on auto-delegate, I guess. I mean, I have the engineers at the top of the party list. And there are 4 of them. I have 4 of them, because a number of them, as I anticipated, a number of them have been eliminated in my auto-resolving against the Chaos Raiders. There was not much for me to do there. Not entirely sure why they are not manning the cannons, because as far as I'm aware, they're supposed to do this automatically. Yes, I don't know why, but whenever there's a new feature, I always just absolutely... well, there's no way to put it. I just suck at using it, you know? I don't know why, because, I mean, I think those of you that have experience with this have said to me that you basically just go in, place it down, and then it's automatic. Your engineers and stuff like that are just going to do the thing automatically, and you don't need them to be ordered or anything like that. Okay, well, I guess I will return to waiting then. Alright, so here we go. It's actually been a long time since the previous little section of the video, because I actually had a lot of stuff to do, and I'm not even talking about in real life, I'm talking about in the game. I had a massive amount to catch up on and to try and pass the time as well, because of course I had I think it was over an in-game month or something like that until the non-aggression pact would actually expire. And I've also done a number of other things too. I have gone to Nuln and recruited a bunch more engineers, because obviously in the previous little section of the video we were attempting to use the cannons and the mortars, and it just wasn't working for us for some reason. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm just gonna recruit a bunch of engineers, try and level them up. Maybe they need a certain level or something that actually makes them a little bit more effective. I really have no idea. I haven't actually tested them out yet. I've basically just been fighting Chaos Raiders and patrols for the last, I don't even know, for the last 30 in-game days or something like that. I've been looking at this almost every I don't know, every 3 or 4 trips to the marketplace, because obviously I'm going to be right next to Averheim, and I'm going to try and go there, you know, to the tavern, and try to sell all of my prisoners as much as I possibly could. So anyway, we're going to be declaring war against Stirland here, and hopefully that is going to be exactly what we need to finish them off. Because we also have the vampire counts. They are quite a bit away, as you can quite clearly tell. There's also a non-aggression pact, by the way. There is still a non-aggression pact with Stirland, but obviously if I'm declaring war and forcing it, the non-aggression pact doesn't really make any, you know, there's no real problem with that. And so here's the thing. We have 41 days to eliminate this faction, and then the vampire counts will be weighing themselves in. And I actually thought to myself, in the time that I was spending off screen, I thought, what about if the reason why the cannons and so on and so forth are not actually working, the reason why they're not working is because we're not actually going into a battle against an enemy vassal. So that's the only kind of hypothesis that I could come up with. Obviously that is very much a case of, well, I have no idea. I'm just assuming that that might actually be the reason. But I'm going to be very interested to see whether it actually works in one of the battles that are no doubt going to be upon us relatively soon. So yeah, we're just going to start building our little trebuchets here. We're getting almost 19,000, and in comparison, Chaos Raiders and patrols and so on and so forth, they do not really drop a huge amount of loot. Yeah, they drop a lot of horses, as you can see right here. How fast am I actually going? No, it seems like we're actually fine. But yeah, technically what I could do is I could sell this, and that would actually give me a massive amount of money as well. As you can see right here, look at how much money I'm going to gain just by selling a small amount of them. So technically, yeah, you could do that. You could sell your horses that you gain from fighting the Chaos Raiders. They also have an overabundance of meat as well, so if you are having problems with food, then obviously Chaos Raiders are pretty good to prey upon. And if you can find a town which doesn't have a huge amount of food available, then this is going to be a really great way of making money as well. But look at that, 34,000. So now that's the point. The loot that you gain from the Chaos Raiders, basically you're going to get horses, which is pretty good if the town doesn't have an exceptional amount of them. And you also have the ability to gain some weapons, and these weapons are, I would say they're actually pretty good to sell. They usually sell for about 4,000 to 5,000. And then obviously you have the meat. So those are the three main things that you're going to be getting from the Chaos Raiders. And for me specifically, I think that it's actually really nice that they don't have a huge amount of loot, but I'm just trying to impart to you that the amount of money that you gain from them is, of course, going to be just about enough, especially for my particular situation right now, to kind of keep you in the game, pretty much, you know. So it's not going to be easy, but you are going to be able to do it. Anyway, these guys actually did advance to adept level, and I'm actually going to get Chain Lightning, I think. Yep, Chain Lightning seems pretty fun, but here's the thing, I don't have a huge amount of money, bear that in mind, so I'm only going to be getting 2 of these, and we're just going to be, you know, advancing our Celestial Wizards. I don't think I have any others. No, I think I just recruited 2 Celestial Wizards, 2 Bright Wizards, and 2 Light Wizards. That's basically all I have done, and I think that actually seems pretty good. Pretty nice balance, because they're not going to run into each other and kill all of my units all the time, and so on, you know, so it's kind of nice that we don't have to worry about that, at least. And otherwise, it seems as though this keep is now being taken. I actually have no idea who it's being taken by. It's being taken by Mr. Johan, as we know him. Yeah, in a previous episode, we obviously defeated him, but he is, of course, a vampire count. So unfortunately, they are going to be gaining some additional territory, which is going to be a little bit problematic, but nothing that big a deal, because they only have 2 castles as it is. Anyway, I don't think I really need to do anything else. No, the regiment, yeah, see now, that's the, you know, I'm going to say one suggestion that I might have for the modding team, because obviously I really am, I'm at a loss as to what kind of suggestions I can make, because the mod is just so, well, good. I mean, pretty much everything about it is balanced, at least in my opinion, and fun to experience in almost every aspect, and a lot of the quality of life improvements are really, really great as well. And the only things that I have to really suggest are just these little nitpicks that don't really make that much difference. The only thing that I really want to just touch upon real fast, the availability of the regiments of renown. That is the only thing that I can see as being a little bit, I don't want to say disappointing, because it's not really, I don't really care that much about whether I can recruit them or not. It would just be fun to be able to do that. But I have not seen any of these guys. In this entire series so far, I haven't been able to recruit any of them, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to randomly come to this place at the exact moment when I have them available, and then I can just go and recruit them. Obviously, I understand what the modding team is trying to do. Obviously, they're trying to make it so that these units are not so completely common and easy to find and all that stuff. I understand. 100%. I understand that, you know, they're trying to make these units into a precious commodity, you know what I mean? So, in other words, you're not going to have an entire army full of these guys, right? Yeah, I can completely get behind that idea, because, let's face it, you know, that's a bit too much, you know, having an entire army comprised of these highly specialized, highly trained units, that's going to imbalance the game more than anything. But the problem is, I'm not getting any of them. You see, that's the only issue that I can see so far, and it's a very minor one. It is a very minor one, because as I say, I am not really fussed whether I have them in my army or not, because while they are fun to use, and I'd like to see them in general in action, I am very happy with my army composition as it is. I think that the Empire units are very nicely represented in the game. I don't think they really, you know, I don't think my army really needs any of these regiments of renown units, but it would just be fun to see them. And maybe, I don't know, I don't really know what to suggest, to be honest, because I have no experience whatsoever in coding anything, so just, you know, take what I say with, well, a grain of salt, because that's quite literally the amount of knowledge I have about these things, a grain of salt. And yeah, that's the point. I'm just giving that as an idea, because maybe there could be a different requirement other than just being relatively lucky about when you can recruit the regiments of renown. That's the only thing I can really think of to say to make the mod. I don't want to say better either, because technically it's not really better, it's just a different way of dealing with the recruitment of these kinds of units. So I'm not going to say that would make it better, I'm just going to say that it would make it slightly more fun for me. That's it. Because, well, that's it, you know, it's kind of like the whole thing, you know, if you can recruit these really, really fun units and you can use them in battle, then it's going to be a lot of fun to do that. But obviously, as I say, it is not a requirement for the enjoyment of me personally. But I just wanted to touch upon that very, very fast after he spoke about it for 10 minutes. Yes, I have that issue, I know, I apologize. Yes, indeed, I have that problem. Anyway, the point is, maybe a different requirement other than waiting at these places and just being lucky that you can recruit them. I would like to see maybe a hefty cost associated with them. I don't know, maybe like, I really don't know. Maybe 50,000 for 10 units or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm literally just... Because here's the thing. If people make a huge amount of money, then they can just have an entire army full of these guys. And that's breaking the game in itself as well. I mean, it's kind of imbalancing the whole thing. So I understand why why the modding team actually does that. But anyway, okay, I'm done. All right, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to speak about it any further. I think that was 5 minutes. Was that 5 minutes? Oh, I have no idea. Okay, just leave it. Just leave it. It's absolutely fine. All right, let's go and wait a minute. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I also did have some problems with engineers actually surviving the battles with the Chaos Raiders, because obviously I'm going to be, well, I'm going to be auto-resolving, of course. I'm obviously going to be auto-resolving every single time. And my engineers, most of the time, did not actually survive. So what I needed to do was go back to Nuln again and again and try to recruit more of them, which I gotta say, it was a little bit irritating, but obviously I wasn't really sure how else to advance them in levels, pretty much. I mean, how am I supposed to do that, you know? Kind of want to move on in general. Kind of wanted to move on, try to see if I could make enough money, and obviously auto-resolving is probably going to be the best way for us to do that. I cannot catch up with this guy for the life of me, so I guess I will just go in here and see what we can do. They have level 1 walls. Level 1. Okay, they are, this is going to be very, very easy for us, but they have 800 units in the garrison, so maybe it's not going to be as easy as I anticipate. We will see. Alright, yeah, he's giving a lot of different people some of the fiefs, that's great, and let me actually just go over to my character sheet right here. Oh yeah, so obviously, I've been doing auto-resolves, so I haven't really advanced my own character at all, but it's pretty cool to actually see that we do have some perks to spend here as well. So let's have a look. Your accuracy penalty while shooting from horseback is halved. I hope that this actually does affect the guns. I think it probably would, right? And otherwise, what else do we have here? Defensive siege engines have 30% more hit points. I don't really care about any of this, actually. Yeah, we'll just go for that. It doesn't really matter either way. And let's see, increase settlement prosperity, get 20% healing bonus in towns. Yeah, I will take that, thank you. Alright, so I have one focus point and one attribute point. I think the best thing that I can possibly do is probably increase my control skill, so I can increase my crossbows just that much faster, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to go for another point in two-handed. I know, I'm not meant to use a two-handed, but generally I think it's too fun to pass up. It really is just too much fun to pass up. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to be attempting to take this once the walls are down, and thankfully, due to their level 1 walls, it's going to be even easier than it would have been normally. So that's great. So we don't even have to wait that long to get in here. Bear in mind the cohesion is actually decreasing quite swiftly, so I need to be a bit cautious about that. But otherwise, let's go in and see what we can do. I'm going to try and use my spells really, really liberally here, trying to just chuck them out at any possible time. That's going to be a lot of fun in itself, and I'm going to use my horse to get up there and reload my gun in the meantime too. So that means it's ready to use whenever I need it. So it's going to be real nice. Otherwise, I'm going to be getting off my horse in just a second as well. And wow, level 1 walls looks really, really funny, actually, to be fair. Okay, let me see here. Okay, there we are. Let's do it. Not bad. Not bad. I was actually hoping for a little bit more, but it's alright. Oh, look at that guy. He's going flying. He doesn't have a jetpack, but he's going flying nevertheless. Like it. I like it. Let's shoot that guy, thank you. Shoot. Ah, never mind. Oh, well, never mind. Alright, so, yeah, another 20 seconds until our line attack comes back. I will be attempting to use it once again. I would like to try and maximize the use of it as much as I possibly can, so that we can just get into the courtyard here. Okay, I'm going to use it right here, right now. I actually don't know whether that was good. But whatever the case, I am now inside the walls, which is exactly what we wanted. Let's just reload. There we go. Shoot him. There we go. Take him down. Okay, wait a minute. We really do want to use our line attack once. Oh, there's a lot of units. Okay, here we go. This is going to be absolutely amazing. If we can make this work, this is going to be so much damage. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is exactly what I was hoping for. Obviously, there are still many, many units alive, and I don't have any further magic power to be able to take out the remaining units. But I am going to have enough to heal myself, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. There we go. And then we're going to go to town with my two-handed sword. And these archers are a very big thorn in my side, so I will be attempting to murder them as best I can. Take him out. No, no, no. Oh, no. Okay, it seems like we might actually have a bit of an issue here. My forces are not charging? Is that just me? Okay, yeah, we're dead. Yep, we are very, very dead. I got shot in the face by an archer of some kind, or a gunner or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it seems like my forces are standing here. Ah, I see. Right. Well, a lot of them are actually standing there. Okay, that is not very useful. Gotta say that. I did eliminate 171 of the enemy's units, though. Technically, my first cast of my line attack was not that effective. I'm going to be the first to say that. Wasn't that effective. But maybe it actually led for us to actually get into the walls? Maybe. Ah well, doesn't really matter either way. It seems like we were able to achieve victory nevertheless. And we actually only ended up losing 10 units total for my own forces, which is pretty nice. I quite like that. And otherwise we can just take these guys prisoner. And we'll take all of the units prisoners too. So, you know, I mean, why not, right? And then we'll just take all of the archers that I can. And then we're just going to be selling them in the tavern in just a second. And huge amounts of loot as well. Very nice to see. And let's see. Here we go. 10,000. Very nice. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, we just spent 50,000 on spells. And now, watch this. Look at this. 50,000. Boom. Straight away. So that is so incredibly nice. It really is. It's such a wonderful change from having to fight Chaos Raiders all the time. Gotta say that, that's for sure. Anyway, let's just wait here for some time. I think I might actually disband the army now. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. We do need to take one additional fief. Where is that, though? That is the question. Oh, it's over there? Really? Yeah, that got taken, as you might expect. Yeah, no, that is the only castle that is still remaining. Alright, that is actually not even that big a deal. No, that is actually fine. As you can see, there's a huge amount of cultist hideouts, Ungor camps, deserter hideouts, and so on and so forth. Technically, I could go to all of those if I wanted to make some extra cash, and I could just, you know, go to the nearby villages, try and take the tasks associated with them, and then just, you know, eliminate them relatively simply. But the problem with that is that the travel time, yeah, it's actually kind of surprising how much difference travel time makes to the amount of money that is being output by your army. And you may think, oh, that's not too much, you know, I'm only losing 5,000 per day. Yeah, but that's the thing, 5,000 per day, it actually goes very quickly. Surprisingly quickly. And yeah, seems like they are now going to be a bit of a problem in here, aren't they? Yes, they are being a very, very big problem. 9,000 HP on the walls. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what was even going on here. I think it was actually besieged by someone else. Maybe? Or did we actually take this? I have no idea now. Now I've completely forgotten what we did at the very start here, because I'm thinking to myself, we didn't besiege this, right? No, we took something else as far as I'm aware, and then it was taken by the Vampire Counts, or was... No, wait. Maybe we did actually take this. And then they just repaired the walls. Well, now we've destroyed it again, so they're going to be very, very irritated with me. But there's a huge amount of vassals in here, and you know what that means. That means we can either let all of them go, or, well, I mean, nothing much else, because unfortunately, I don't think we're going to even have the ability to do anything with them before the war exhaustion kicks in. I mean, I might be able to go to the nearby town, but it's unlikely, I'd say. Anyway, let me just reload my gun real fast. We need to make sure that the gun is ready for firing, and then we're just going to get off our horse and just run up the old-fashioned way. There we go. Oh, hello there. Okay, did not want to go in there, thank you. Okay, let's see. This is just... That's just absolutely pointless. Yeah, I went with a bit of a weird angle attack right there, mostly because I wanted just to thin out the opponent as much as I could. But the problem with that is that, well, actually it didn't go too badly. No, I actually thought it went a lot worse than it actually did. It seemed to maybe help us out somewhat, but yeah, I maybe should have just used it maybe on the archers. Maybe that would have been a better idea. Well, that was one of the worst spell casts I have ever seen in my life. Oh well, never mind. Okay. Yeah, so let me actually just take a quick look at what's actually even going on here. It seems like we are going to achieve victory, but I am very surprised that we were even taking this many casualties. Generally, I shouldn't even have to use my spells to gain an advantage in a siege such as this, because we have the walls down, we have a numbers advantage, and theoretically, due to my own units, we should have much higher tier people as well on our side. But oh well, never mind. We were able to achieve victory with a loss of 15 units in our own army. That's not too bad, but I gotta say that last spell cast, that was really awful. Oh well, never mind. I was probably distracted for some reason or another. Anyway, let me capture these prisoners. Thank you, thank you. Ah, yes. Oh, there's actually a huge amount of them. And we can now capture these as well, or rescue them, shall we say. And I will take all of those too. Another massive amount of loot. Wow, look at that. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so apart from this, war exhaustion is going to now kick in. Can I get to the nearby town before they release my prisoners? Oh, we actually made it. Okay, look at that. 32,000. Oh yeah, thank you very much. We kind of desperately need that right now. Well, maybe not desperately, but we do need it quite a bit. That is always wonderful to get a little bonus here and there, you know, just a little bit. And otherwise, I think I can pretty much just leave the rest the way it is, and now we can take a look at the diplomacy screen. I'm not going to be dealing with the owner of that. Okay, so technically we could pay the tribute, but I don't really want to do that because the war exhaustion is going to come in anyway, so that's perfectly fine. And you can see here that our non-aggression pact, it took us 20 days. It took us 20 days to eliminate Stierland's last 4 fiefs, which I gotta say, I actually would have expected us to be a bit quicker, but alright. That seems to be about it for them, and the war exhaustion is, there we go, just about to activate, and we're just going to be disbanding our army for now too. Alright, so yeah, the final remaining fiefs are just the vampire counts. They are the only ones that we have to deal with, and it's going to take about probably, what, 18 days now, something like that, for the non-aggression pact to wear off, and then we will finish them off, and that will be it. And so I thank you very much for watching, and we'll definitely be eliminating them in the next episode, and I'll see you next time.